Hello there, good afternoon, and welcome once again to your number one online television channel, CTV. And this is your favorite football show, Football Domain. Yes, I am your host, Wisdom Chimoba, here to serve you all of the fresh updates. Most people like to call me the principal Finn, and hey, if you look at my name, it's Wisdom, the principal Finn, and that is who I am. Okay, so guys, today we're just here to serve you the usual updates as regarding the current happenings in the world of football. As we all know right now, this is the international break, which means that countries are playing their international football. We have the Afcon qualifiers currently going on as well as the UEFA Nations League. So we're gonna go on a very quick break. Once we return, we'll be going straight to all of the updates. Alright, once again, you are welcome back to Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV. I remain your host, Wisdom Chimoba, fondly called the Principal Fane. And like I said earlier before we went on the break, that we've got some juicy updates coming from the football world as always. Yes, right now the international tournaments are going on. The African Cup of Nations qualifiers are going on, as well as the UEFA Nations League. Now, some games went down yesterday. That's talking about both the Afcon qualifiers as well as the UEFA Nations League. And I've got some updates for you that I'm going to give you the scoreline or the results of the games that went down yesterday. But of all the games that went down yesterday, one in particular was making the headlines, and it wasn't for the right reason. Yes, Kylian Mbappe and the Les Bleus suffering a 3-1 defeat at the Parc des Princes against Italy. That was quite an astonishing one, you might want to put it that way, because it wasn't what they were expecting, playing at home in front of their fans. And Kylian Mbappe wasn't quite the return he was expecting at Paris. I was hoping, hey, coming back to Paris after leaving PSG to Real Madrid, he was hoping it was going to put up a beautiful performance for the French national side. But it is what it is. They were underwhelming in performance, and Italy got the better of them by 3-1 in that game. And Kylian Mbappe, a whole lot of people I would say, what's the word to use? Probably dragging him, using it in Nigerian words, pulling him left and right, saying all sort of things about him. But really, I have to say that since his move to Real Madrid, his life hasn't been the same. That's talking about in terms of his form and in terms of his psychology, because it's been a whole lot for him to process. It's been a whole lot for him to handle. His form for Real Madrid now in 5 games, he's gotten just 3 goals. But even before that move to Real Madrid, we all know that during the Euros, Kylian Mbappe in 5 games for the Les Bleus, he just got 1 goal out of 5 games, and it's quite worrisome. And it would also interest you to know that right now, as we speak, for the Les Bleus, out of 8 games that they've played, they've managed to score just 2 goals from open play. meaning that, you know, they are really struggling to get goals. And we know that Kylian Mbappe is that route, is that, you know, angle for them to be getting all of these goals. But now that Kylian Mbappe is struggling, it's as though the whole national team is struggling. And in fact, he is the captain. So the weight of Kylian Mbappe, once it's down, the French national team is down. Michael Olise actually was kind of brilliant yesterday. In fact, even the goal scorer for the Les Bleus, that's talking about Bradley Barcola, was actually impressive as well with Michael Olise. In fact, Antoine Griezmann as well. All of these players were dazzling, but their performance wasn't just good enough. Kylian Mbappe had the most touches of all of the attackers on the field, but yet he just managed, you know, just 2 shots, and one was on target, and that's it. So Kylian Mbappe is really struggling right now, and his form is affecting the French national team, even Real Madrid, you know, in a way kind of affecting Real Madrid. But let's just hope that he gets to, you know, turn the tide around, and, you know, he would be fine. So that game went down yesterday at the Parc des Princes in Paris. You know, the French national team losing by 1-3 goals coming in from Bradley Barcola as early as the 12th seconds. 12th second, that was the fastest goal in the history of the France national team. 12 seconds, Bradley Barcola, you know, kicking off for the French national team on a very wonderful note, but was just unfortunate in the end because Federico Di Marco in the 50th minute equalized for Italy, and then Italy went all the way, you know, to win it by 3-1. Goals coming in from David Fratesi and Giacomo Raspadori, you know, in the 51 and 74th minute respectively. So that was how that game ended. But other games also went down yesterday. In fact, we saw Belgium take on Israel, and that game ended 3-1 in favor of the Belgian national side. As expected on paper, you would expect Belgium to get the better of Israel, and they did that cleanly by 3-1. Cyprus got the better of Lithuania by 1-0, and Norway played out a 0-0 draw with Kazakhstan, and then Iceland got the better of Montenegro by 2-0. Turkey and Wales, that game ended 0-0 as well. Slovenia and Austria, that game ended in a 1-0 draw. Romania got the better of Kosovo by 3-0. And as we speak right now, it is the Faroe Islands taking on North Macedonia, and that game is 1-1 as we speak. 76 minutes played in that one. Other games are going to go down today. Ireland will take on England. The Free Lions of England would be hoping, you know, to get all 3 points, seeing that some of the big sides already lost. I was talking about France, in fact Spain dropped points. That's 2 days ago against Serbia. So England would be hoping that their story would be different. But later on, we'd also see Armenia take on Latvia. Georgia will take on Czechia, as well as Moldova, Malta. Greece will take on Finland, and then we'll see Ukraine take on Albania. Germany will take on Hungary. That is also another game that we need to look out for. Germany will take on Hungary, and then finally the Netherlands will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina. So that is how it stands for the UEFA Nations League. All of these games that would be going down today, the ones that went down yesterday as well as 2 days ago. So do well to you know, continue keeping tabs with all of these games. And for those of you into the white paper teams, don't forget to do it wisely. So we're going to go on a very quick break. Once we return, we're going to be coming back home to Africa, to Nigeria, and we'll talk about the Super Eagles as well as the other games going down in the Afcon qualifiers. Do well to stick around. We'll be back. Alright, once again, welcome back. You're still locked on to your favorite television channel, which is CTV, and your favorite show, Football Domain. I remain your host, Wisdom Chimuba. So we're talking about updates coming from the world of football. We spoke about the UEFA Nations League before we went on the break. Now we're back home to Africa, to Nigeria, where we know that the Super Eagles of Nigeria would be taking on Benin Republic today. Yes, that game would be going down by 5 p.m. In fact, I myself have been anticipating that game for quite a while now. Why do I say so? Because you look at the number of attacking talents that we have this time in the Super Eagles squad. My goodness, I don't think we've had all of these players available at once. I'm talking about the likes of Taiwo Awoni, Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, Samuel Chukwueze. All of these players are currently in the Super Eagles camp as we speak. In fact, all of them are fit and ready to play. And I'm wondering what Austin Eguavon and, you know, his assistants in Fidelis Ilechukwu and Daniel Ogumodede, I wonder what they're actually thinking right now. You know, the tactics they're going to come up with, how they're going to play all these players, and, you know, how they intend, you know, to maximize this attacking talent. Because you look at the squad that we've got, my goodness, we had to, you know, clear Benin Republic, but football isn't played on paper. It is done on the field. So we're going to be taking on Benin Republic today by 5 p.m. Well, that is not the only game that would go down. We're also going to see other games go down today. Mauritania will take on Botswana, as well as Cameroon taking on Namibia. All of these games are going down simultaneously by 5 p.m. tonight. Or today, rather, you might want to put it, this evening, anyhow you want to put it. But Nigeria would be taking on Benin Republic. That is our major focus, because we, you know, it's our own, it's the Super Eagles, and we wish them well. We hope that they get to perform. Fingers crossed that, you know, Eguavon and Fidelis and Daniel would come up with a brilliant plan for us to, you know, get our pound of flesh back on former coach Gennett Rowe, who, you know, seemed to understand these boys. In fact, he groomed them. These were the boys that he called by himself before leaving the Super Eagles. So he knows most of these players and he knows how to deal with them. But let's hope that we get, you know, to outperform them this time. Well, some games also went down yesterday in the Afcon qualifiers. Yes, we saw some of the big boys, you know, take part of the action yesterday. Cape Verde were smashed 3-0 by Egypt. Yes, and then we saw Morocco doing Moroccan things, destroying Gabon by 4-1. Yes, Ivory Coast as well, the current champions or the defending champions of the Afcon, defeated Zambia by 2-0. Mali and Mozambique, that game ended 1-0. Senegal, surprisingly, you know, were unable to get all 3 points. That game ended 1-0 with Burkina Faso. Togo and Liberia as well ended 1-0. DR Congo got the better of Guinea by 1-0. South Africa and Uganda, that game ended 2-2. Kenya, Zimbabwe, that game ended 0-0 as well. So that is that for all of the games that went down yesterday. So like I said earlier, the Super Eagles would be taking on Benin by 5 p.m. as well as Botswana taking on Mauritania, and then finally would see Cameroon take on Namibia. These 3 games would go down together simultaneously by 5 p.m. So do well, you know, to tune in and catch all of these games, and especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And fingers crossed, you know, we get to outperform Benin Republic this time and get our pound of flesh. Because like I said, the attacking talent we've got right now, and we should be able to clear the entire Africa. This is just me over exaggerating, but it is what it is. We've got Victor Osimhen, Taiwo Awoni, Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze, Boniface. You go to midfield, there's Iwobi, who's red hot right now. There's Frank Onyeka. Come to our defense. The captain is back in Truth Ekong. Our goalkeeping department, Nwabali, is doing well. Maduka Okoye has picked form for Udinese. Come on, everything, the puzzle, you know, is starting to come together. Everything is setting into place. So we have no choice than to win this game. In fact, that is the bare minimum we're expecting from the Super Eagles today. But guys, this is where we have to draw the curtain. It's been a pleasure giving you all of these updates. I've had fun. You know, once I come around, it's always fun and happiness. I'm always here to serve you all the fresh updates and, you know, give you interesting things for your listening pleasure. So thank you very much for being a part of today's show. Guys, do not forget that this show is sponsored by the Adama Sule Foundation. You can do well to always like, comment and share these videos to your friends and families, and tell them to click on that subscribe button here to be part of our shows to get more notifications when we come on board. Yes, our handle is CTV Live on YouTube right there, as well as Facebook and wherever you're streaming from. Okay, do well to like, comment and share. Thank you very much once again for being a part of today's show. Hey, do not go anywhere yet. Do not forget Proverbs 4 verse 7. Let's echo it together. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all that getting, get understanding. Goodbye.